I wish I would have known that. I would have asked him to pay my rent. That's what I was struggling for. That's what I was shaking ass and pop locking and dropping it for. So anyway. Hey y'all. Okay, so I want to talk about a story of my first sugar daddy, and let's just get into it. Okay, so I was going through a really rough time in my life, and I was paying my own bills, which is obviously not anything special, but I was a single mom, and it was a whole bunch of stuff. So one time I was speaking with my friends, and they had spoke to me about something that their friends were doing. Like, they didn't even say that it was them that was doing it. They told me, oh, well, my friend Keisha, Pam, and Nikki, they are on a website called Seeking Arrangement. So I was like, well, for one, I had tried dating apps for the first time earlier in that year. So I was looking for money in all the wrong places. So I signed up for the account and made me a Seeking Arrangements account. So when I made this account, I really didn't know what to expect. I literally was just shooting in the dark. So, and I have some wine. So if you don't have some wine, go and get it, sis, because it's about to be juicy. Okay, so within a week of me being on the having an account on this website, I did get a message from this guy, and he was an older black guy. So that if you want to know what I'm drinking, I am drinking a strawberry sparkle teeny by Verde, and it is something like a Moscato. And I typically stay away from Moscatos because I'm a grown woman. I don't want no wine cooler. I like white wine. I like Merlot. I like stuff that makes me feel like I'm really, winding down. And if it's a turn up, then I'll drink some champagne. If not, like a mixed drink. But this smells really good. I'm gonna pour it up. Excuse my nails, you guys. Ooh. So I didn't really know what to expect. I did just shoot in the dark, to be honest. So when this handsome black guy reached out to me, I was pretty excited, and I wanted to see where it was going. On top of the fact, he was located in my area. So he reached out, and we had minimum conversation before he asked me out. He was just as excited to see that we were living in the same area. So he invited me to a upscale restaurant that wasn't too far from me. And so I did let him know, just to see what type of vibe he was on. I did let him know, like, hey, coming out isn't going to be something where I can come out for free. Like, I wanted to check his temperature, but he was such a gentleman. Okay, go back. So I let him know, like, hey, I would really, like some type of compensation for my time tonight. And he was such a gentleman. He immediately agreed. And in this sense, he was going to fill up my gas tank. This was a running theme of the relationship, and this is why I will say that I didn't do it right. However, I did learn from my mistakes moving forward, and when I snagged me a good one, I did take full advantage. And when I showed up to the restaurant, he was already there, if I'm not mistaken. So I came in, and I actually remember this pretty dress that I wore, and I wore high heels and just all this other stuff. But I do want to make it very clear, like, I was going through so much during that time. So just looking back on it, I remember just showing up for myself, which is what I decide to do all the time now. is like, just show up for myself, because you get through those hard times. Hard times don't last. Tough people do. And I just remember now, with everything I had going on, for one, I was a little cloudy judgment-wise, but when it came to pulling things together, I am a hustler, so I definitely put my best foot forward with him, because I came in looking nice. Despite what I was going through in my personal life, I really did pull myself together and make myself look nice for this date. So we sit down, we're having conversation. He's letting me know that he's in and out of town, and that he had just gotten in town from taking his ex-wife, I want to say that that's what he said, or his child's mom and his child out of town on a cruise or something like that. And to be honest, there was no red flags because he was just so blunt with it. Anyway, so the waitress comes over, and he clearly had been there a lot of times, because he pretty much let her know, like, whatever I get, usually get me that and whatever. And he asked me to order, and I ordered what I ordered. It was so good. It was real bougie. So I remember we drank Merlot, and I remember thinking, because this sugar, like, this was way before I was like experienced. I ended up going on a vineyard date at some point, and now I can tell you about mine. I'm not a connoisseur, but I have a foundation understanding of wines and the different types and the different berries that they come from. So anyhow, the wine was warm, and I remember just being like, this is very dry. I usually like my wine chilled. And he was like, oh, it's supposed to be drank like that. And it was really good. I do just remember the wine taking full effect the next morning, and I felt more energized. So we keep in touch. I remember that he didn't give me the money when we were out that night, and so I called him or texted him. I called him because he answered me, and he's like, oh, I'm just getting to my gate. I'm not coming back out tonight. And you know, I didn't really feel slighted. I believe that we had spoken about him coming to me tomorrow. On top of the fact he was so sketchy. He was just like, I think it was like a black girl thing, to be honest. He was just like, oh, I don't want to get set up or whatever. I did make the mistake of letting him know I had a boyfriend. I had a Dusty. I didn't have a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend who had did a favor for me during the hard time that I was going through, but he wasn't my guy. Like, he came out to me the next day, and he brought me the money for my car. And he said to me, baby girl, like, this is the type of stuff that your boyfriend should be doing. If you need, like, I can understand if you needed your rent paid or something, but if your boyfriend can't do this, then you need another boyfriend or whatever. He was completely right. I was so naive at the time. In fact, I was literally under experience. So anyway, and to be honest, I wish I would have known that. I would have asked him to pay my rent. That's what I was struggling for. That's what I was shaking ass and pop locking and dropping it for. So anyway, so he brings me the money, and we spend some time talking. I looked really cute. Like I said, I used to put it together. I still put it together, but I'm saying during that rough time, I was putting it together, honey. In fact, I should have been running him for more, you know what I mean? The way I looked. One day he saw me, and he was just like, damn, you look impressive, like, you know. And I was like, yup. Anyway, so between then and moving forward, I would call him, we would text, we would meet up, and it was still based on gas. It was, and let me say this, lady, the way you start out with any relationship is the way that you can anticipate it going. So I am not by any means a guru with sugar daddies and sugar baby relationships. I have had bad ones that were not successful, and I've had good ones that have been successful. However, what I will say is that you start out where you want to keep going. Don't start off asking somebody to pay for dinners and paying for you know, gas and stuff like that, little things, and then think you're gonna escalate. Granted, I'm sure at some point I could have let him know, like, hey, I need a little more, because we built a friendship, we built a relationship, and had I approached it from a way or a place of building, I'm sure he would have followed my lead. But I was inexperienced. I'm sharing this with you so that you don't make the same mistakes. So I did call him after hanging out with some young chick, and I'll have a story time about her and our time dealing with each other. But I was hanging out with this chick who was hanging out with these guys, and you know, I was like the plus one to their little soiree. And I remember that I had ran out of gas, and these dusties, like I said, I was just not where I am now. So I wasn't requiring people, like, I don't even believe that they had a car of their own. So if they needed to go to the store, it was me, the one that took them. And to be honest, their mom was paying me to, like, she was just the only one in that scenario giving me money. So I just remember on one occasion I was there and I was ready to go. Like, I don't know what was going on, but I was ready to be out. Yeah, so something was going on where I was just like, you know what, your girl out. And I'm not exactly sure how far I got before I ran out of gas, but in the same neighborhood I ran out of gas. Ain't that some shit? Okay, so I called dude up, and dude is like, he couldn't make it out that night, so I called a family member, but he definitely made it there in the morning, like wherever I was, and he gave me the money back for whatever gas that was spent. And he was a really cool guy. At some point, like I said, I did take up dancing, and one of my dancing friends, she was just like, oh, well, if dude gonna be there for you like that, then he need to put some money in your hands right now. She's like, text him and let him know you need $300. And I was like, bet. I hit him up and I was like, hey, where are you? And he's like, I'm getting on this plane from whatever to wherever, and you know, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm in a situation. You know, I made it seem like it was a panic situation. And I was like, I need $300. And he was just like, oh, no, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm da-da-da-da-da, whatever. So I can't tell you what, like, to be honest, my ego was there or whatever. Granted, homegirl was in my ear, and she was dancing for a much longer time than I was. So I just knew she knew how this was supposed to go. Now, let me tell you now, I'm just a whole nother type of person now. However, chick was like, he bullshitting, da-da-da-da-da, cut him off, sis, whatever. So I started talking to him. I let him know, like, you're full of shit. I let him know, like, I don't want to deal with you no more. You're full of shit. And I blocked him, right? So some time goes by. I'm still in struggle mode. Like, this was over a span. This was like a whole summer. So from like June to like September or October, I'm in struggle mode. And I was just like, forget it. If I'm barking up the wrong tree, I'm gonna go ahead and leave dude alone, and I'm gonna focus on dancing and focus on doing hair and just doing other things that was gonna get me money in my pocket. So time goes by, maybe like a month or less than that, and he hits me up and we do some mild flirting on the through text message, but we didn't really meet up after that. So what? That was pretty much the end of the story with him. If you're interested in hearing about some other sugar daddy chronicles, how successful they were, how, you know, maybe even what tips I would give to someone in a situation. And another thing is, there were no videos like this. Like, I remember asking people around me, how do you ask men for money? How do you go about da-da-da-da? And there were no videos about it. So if you would like more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Leave any questions below, because I would love to share this. I am someone who decided to do things for myself and not even to seek, you know, refuge from someone. However, if you are someone who is interested and everything is feeling right to you about getting a sugar daddy, please let me know, because I got, okay? Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.